Okay, so as you guys know, I've been putting a lot of focus on the whole topic of Mars, and we've really enjoyed reviewing photos and hunting in these photos and looking in these photos for these anomalies on the planet Mars. And it seems like, honestly, I think the photos. So, I mean, it's not something. I don't think it's like mainstream or anything like that. It's just something that I enjoy doing over here. And I wanted to bring up this article and talk about this article because I do agree with this article. And just like the times and the photos and things like that I've looked at on, just some of the photos, not all of them, but a lot of them, I see what they're saying. And I could actually bring up a crap load of photos, okay, and show you. And I probably will do that, actually. Wait, which network am I on right now? I'm on the, okay, cool. It's going to depend if my Airwalk can connect because I've been on the iPad, but NASA photos show insect and reptile-like life forms on Mars per an entomologist, a doctor out of Ohio. He has wrote a paper. He has actually wrote a paper and published even some photos. And listen, let me just take you to the Behance really quick, and maybe that'll I think, give you an idea of sort of what my mind's eye is thinking when it comes to these little creatures on Mars. And again, one of the other things the most recent things I've done is got my little iPad or whatnot, and I subscribed to Photoshop. And I've been learning how to use Photoshop. It's been a lot of fun. Definitely not a professional Photoshop artist, okay? Don't hold me to that. But I've been just sort of just tracing over what I personally see in these images, and it's all subjective, I guess, but these are just some of the photos I've put up on Behance, which is it's in the suite, in the Adobe Photoshop suite, right? So I've just been sort of like tracing over these, annotating over these images. So that kind of gives you an idea. And one of the things I've been noting, or I've been doing too on the side of these images, I've just been kind of like writing items of note on there. And one of the things I've noticed is one eye seems to be bigger than the other. Don't know what that means. Various different colors, reptile looking, always coming up at a sideways angle. These are just little items of note, right? And the claw-like hands, almost like a crustacean. It almost reminds me of a crustacean or something like that. But it's very odd. They're very, again, I don't think we're always meant to understand everything. I know this may sound crazy, right? And this is just a theory, right? I know you scientists out there love theories. What if the rocks were alive? Just what if? Physics don't necessarily apply the same from planet to planet, right? Things are, I'm sure the expectation is things would be different probably from planet to planet, place to place. But what if the rocks were alive in some weird way and they connect to each other in some sort of way? You know how like liquid metal runs and kind of, it's always going to connect, kind of build like a, and I know that sounds crazy, but just something I'll just throw out there. I just happened to notice a lot of these claw-like hands creeping all over the ground, all over the side of these rocks. It's crazy how these rocks, the way they're bent, but is that the way they're bent, or is that a potential weird claw hand? Maybe they all connect in some weird way. I mean, you can even look in this photo right here and see what I'm talking about, right? Okay, so just one more for good measure. Hey, what's up, everybody in the chat? What's up, Third Eye? What's up, Dolly? What's up, King Ramon? How you doing? The spiders? Well, definitely spiders, reptile, insect-looking creatures. I mean, it's so obvious, right? I've been having a lot of fun with Photoshop. I have. But again, the way that we know things in a physical way may be completely different on Mars. We already know these little beings are very small. Now, I have run across a few photos, guys. I've been catching screenshots and of little Martian men. Got a huge frown going on. It looks like to me they got blonde mustaches, blonde. I don't know. Again, this is all just theory and stuff like that. Okay, and if you hang out, then you know what I'm talking about. But anyway, let's talk about this article because I just thought this was interesting. NASA photos show insect and reptile-like life forms on Mars. Ohio University. Professor William Romoser has analyzed photos from NASA's various Mars rovers and has found, or mostly from the rover Curiosity, and found insect/arthropod and reptile-like organisms, both as fossils and living creatures in the images. And these are some of the images that he's published. And I know you're just like, what the hell am I looking at? It takes a little while, but for those of y'all that want this detail here, we'll do that at the end. So, quote, there has been and still is life on Mars, said Professor Romoser, who was an entomology professor at Ohio University for 45 years and co-founded its Tropical Disease Institute. Also spent nearly 20 years as a visiting vector-borne disease researcher at the U.S. Army Medical Research Institute of Infectious Diseases. There is apparent diversity among the Martian insect-like fauna, which display many features similar to Terran insects that are interpreted as advanced groups. For example, the presence of wings, wing flexion, agile gliding and flight, and variously structured leg elements. I love the way he worded that because you do see a lot of claw-like stuff. While the Martian rovers, particularly Curiosity, have been looking for indicators of organic activity, there are a number of photos which clearly depict the insect and reptile-like forms. Numerous photos show images where arthropod body segments, along with legs, antennae, and wings, can be picked out from the surrounding area. And one even appears to show one of the insects in a steep dive before pulling up just before hitting the ground. Now, there has been several photos that have been released. You can't tell if it's like a bird in the air or what the heck it is. But listen, let me throw something else out here just really quick. And maybe some of you scientists may know. Is there any sort of phenomena in which the closer you would get to a camera, the smaller you would appear, versus The further away you are from the camera, the bigger you appear. And I'll leave it at that. If so, please let us know. Now, Professor Romoser said he used several criteria in the study: dramatic departure from the surroundings, clarity of form, body symmetry, segmentation of body parts, repeating form, skeletal remains, and observation of forms in close proximity to one another. An exoskeleton and jointed appendages are sufficient to establish identification as an arthropod. 3 body regions, a single pair of antennae, and 6 legs are traditionally sufficient to establish identification as insect on Earth. These characteristics should likewise be valid to identify an organism on Mars as insect-like. On these bases, arthropod insect-like forms can be seen in the Mars rover photos. Many insect-like creatures in putative diversity were observed. The most common insect-like forms are robust and loosely resemble bumblebees or carpenter bees on Earth. For convenience, he refers to the creatures as bees. So basically, he refers to the creatures as bees from this point on. I don't know why he chose to do that, but whatever. I'm just going to refer to them as creatures, okay? But the creatures appear to vary in size and type. Several characteristic insect, arthropod, and God, all these freaking huge words. Anatomical features were identifiable, not all on the same individual, but as a mosaic among individuals. Distinct flight behavior was evident in many images. In one case observed, the flight maneuver was impressive, with the individual creature plunging straight down the side of a cliff and leveling off just before hitting the ground. Now, keep in mind, guys, you may be sitting there wondering to yourself, how the hell would he think he'd seen all of this in an image in Mars? It's more than just one image in Mars. They're snapping those images so fast, they can literally put it together like a movie. Now, if you're familiar with animation and how animation works, you're drawing on several pieces of paper. That's how they used to do it back in the old days. And you would run that like you're, flushing some cards or something, and it would look like a cartoon basically. But even still, you get a feeling after looking at them. You looked at hundreds of these, thousands of these, and you're searching through gigapans hour upon hour. Believe me, you can definitely get a feel for what's going on in the photo. Hey, what's up, Camp Meme? Tube, what's up with you? I ain't seen you in a minute. Good to see you. Okay. The insect-like fauna, and it's interesting that he calls them that, fauna, because they do seem to coat the ground. In a lot of the photos, even that I've looked at, they're just everywhere. They appeared to be sheltering and nesting in caves, in burrows beneath the surface, and in specialized structures. All right, now this is again, an Ohio doctor, Professor Romoser. Isn't that just so interesting when you look at these photos? A nice close-up. Let's open that up. See if we can get a bigger view on that. I'm looking to see, did anything change between the photos? But no, I think this is just the same one. And it looks like he's identifying certain characteristics. So yeah, pretty interesting. Possible predation of the insect-like types by reptile-like creatures and putative insect-like bee and reptile-like fossils were seen. According to the researcher, interpretations of insect and reptile-like creatures he described may change in the future as knowledge of life on Mars evolves, but that the sheer volume of evidence is compelling. Given evidence for the presence of insect, arthropod, and reptile-like organisms beyond the confines of Earth, perhaps astroentomology and astroherpetology will emerge as important topics within the field of astrobiology. Interesting. Very, very interesting. There's this photo I've seen, you guys. Let me see if I can find it really quick. It almost looks like the legs are long tentacles. And I have a pretty amazing photo. I'm going to show you. I'm going to bring this photo up. It's actually quite amazing. Give me a sec. And there's a lot of evidence of tentacle-like legs, too, on Mars. There is. Just a search. Just a quick search on Google. And I think some people have referred to this as being like concrete rebar or a variety of different things. But everybody has a different theory. I personally think it's these creatures' legs. I think that these little, whatever you want to call them, have some very long or short, even some, it's like they are short, almost look like a wrench at the end. Again, it may not be all of them. But you can clearly see two of them right here, and looks like a little eye. That familiar sideways angle with the one eye. Now, what's up with the compound eye? What is a compound eye? Because that was one thing that this doctor mentioned regarding, or, mentioned in his report, was that these reptile-like creatures had a compound eye. So let's revisit this image here. Because when I'm looking at a lot of these images and these gigapans and these photos or whatnot, I definitely understand the shape that they're. It's almost hard to even understand with your eye the shape, but let's see. Various anatomical structures seen in different photos, A through E. So that would be A, B, C, D, E. So the first top 5. A specimen whose head appears to have turned in the direction of the camera. Based on the scale provided in the photo from which this was extracted, this individual is estimated to be approximately 20 inches long. Okay. Now, C is the abdomen of the specimen from A, and D, individual on ground with head facing left with head and thorax visible. Individual flying with legs evident, and though in flight, somewhat comparable to the specimen in D. Compound eyes and hind legs labeled in 2 positions since in motion. Relative to D&E, the location, shape, sizes, and appearance of the legs suggest that the forelegs with putative distal, what the heck ever structures are grasping, the mid legs digging, and the hind legs jumping and running. F is the specimen on the ground with the wings toward the right. Longitudinal veins, cross veins, and wing cells evident. Maybe that's all those round looking features that we see. I mean, it's crazy. You see it repeated everywhere. That feature, and I will point it out, because I think I know the what he means when he says wing cells. And then G is part of a wing of a specimen apparently caught on the rover. Enlarged portion of the wing, longitudinal veins, cross veins, and cells are evident. Image credit William Romoser, Professor Romoser. Wow. You think it's some pareidolia catnip? And there may be a lot of that going on too. But I do think he has something. There's something to this. I do. Thanks, too. Appreciate you coming through. It's good to see you. Yeah. I'm not, as far as these particular images are concerned, hey, definitely would agree there could be some definite pareidolia going on there. But I can, again, understand what they may be referring to. But anyway, I figured that would be something interesting for you guys. I found it to be quite interesting. Oh, let me drop a link to the article. Sorry. Let me grab it. This was now this was Sci News, right? But also CNET, which is pretty well respected. I don't know why, but every time I think of CNET, I think about that affiliated reporter out there in Oregon, who him and his family had gotten lost out there in Oregon for like a whole freaking week out there in the woods. CNET is if you're a techie or whatnot, you'll find yourself on CNET. They used to provide like a lot of downloads back in the day, that sort of a thing, but kind of out of that business now, I think. It is interesting, right? Here's a link, y'all, to the article. Plus, too, you can always do a search for, how I ended up finding this, believe it or not. I ended up finding this crazy article by searching tentacle legs Mars rock. So before I go, let me show y'all something really cool. Let me see if I can get connected. Hopefully I can. There is this pretty interesting photo that I ran across. I took a screenshot of it, of course. And I said I had to come show you guys this photo. It's crazy. Who knows, right? Who knows? Give me a second. I'm prowling through. Let's see if we can, I'll make this not work. Gosh, tomorrow's Wednesday, right? Thank gosh, right? Okay. Let's see if we can get this working here, y'all. I bought me a license for Air Server, so hopefully I'll see it here. I'm trying to do the screen mirroring. It seems like when I jump on this other network, I'm not able to screen mirror for some odd reason. It's quite frustrating. It doesn't even come up as an option. It's kind of weird. Y'all give me a sec. I might blip. Okay, we're back, guys. Sorry about that. Okay. Yeah, I went and got a license for those of you who may be looking for some sort of a solution in regards to sharing out your iPad screen to your computer. If you're sharing from iOS to Windows device, it's not exactly as simple as you would like it to be with Windows 11. So the solution that I came up with, I mean, there's been a couple that I tested in regards to like screen mirroring type software, but the best one I have found so far has been this one. It's called Air Server, and really straightforward. The one thing I think probably most important of all with this is just making sure you actually go in and set up the configuration proper after you install it. All right. So for one, let's just take a look here. I thought that was kind of like, now take from that what you will, but this is just one of the photos I'm about to look at here. But wouldn't it be kind of weird? And I know this is all, I'm just talking sci-fi, science tech, absolutely impossible, not realistic on Earth. What if the rocks were somewhat like alive, and they could literally reach out with their claws, grab each other, and just kind of continue and continue and continue and pop up a new head, a new set of arms, boom, grow a new head, a new set of arms. And this just keeps going and going and going. Either that or they're somehow hanging on the outside of this rock face. It's crazy because you can see the texture of these shapes in the damn wall. I'm not even talking about the also evident weird ass whatever that's supposed to be. What if it looks like to me it could be two heads right here, 3, 4. I mean, shoot, I don't know. It's crazy. But bear with me here. We're talking about tentacle-like legs. And I can't make this bigger, so you guys are going to absolutely have to peek. But this is, I will tell you, this is Sol 1519. This is this, which rover is this? This is definitely our alien, Joe White. Uploaded, well, here's an indicator. It's Sol 1519. It's the raw Mars, CAR3. But look at that. So crazy. And I zoom in, or I'm able to zoom in here. I know it's not zooming in for you guys, but it just looks like it could be like a tentacle, real creepy. Creepy looking appendage. But even on the top of the rock that's next to it here, there's like this long, almost looks like an earthworm or something strange like that. But 1 second, I'm not done. There is one particular photo in mind that I want y'all to see here. And of course, what I'm looking for, and I can't find it, but I'm seeing some others here. Hold on. I always thought this was a real interesting photo here. That one almost looks like it's so dead or something, like it's a fossil now. an example of one of those creatures looking down. Weird, 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 huh? I'm going to trace that one out. Ah, this one was good. Remember this? Now, this other photo that I have, I kid you not, it's almost just like this. You see how it has like it's two little tentacle-like legs holding it up? I kid you not. That other photo, and I'm just realizing that after looking at that one, it's very similar in the fact that it's like clearly two long, like tentacle-like legs standing up holding a square-shaped rock, which is like doesn't even seem like it would even be able to do that in normal physics, but it's somehow doing it on Mars. So y'all bear with me, y'all. I took this photo a few days ago, so it's a little back here. Somewhere. I'm seeing some other very interesting things as I go through these photos, and just wow. This is on Mars. This is Sol 2658, infamous Sol 2658, Perseverance, the new rover. That's from the new rover. And of course, just this is an example of some of these different, I guess they would call them sedimentary rocks that we've seen. It's just a very odd shaped rock. But the reason why I took this screenshot is the clear photoshopping that has been done in the photo right there. It's interesting when you sort of pay attention to what NASA is photoshopping. Oh yeah, this is a real good one. I'm going to trace over dead center in the middle here. Very defined. You can clearly see it's little claw-shaped, little crab-shaped, I should say crab-shaped, little hand, what I think is the tip of their legs. And you can see it's bent. Again, this is just all just theory, y'all, from my part. And whatever facial features that is. Did we ever get that definition on what a damn compound eye is? I need to make sure I do that before I let y'all go. Still going down. I may have to come back and represent it if I can't find it. I mean, I have a lot of photos, you guys. I've been really getting down and dirty with the Photoshop. Let me just check one thing, guys, before I let y'all go. Before I tell you I may have to come back on this one. Hold on. Hold that thought aside. 'Cause I know I've got it. Oh man, this is a real good one here. Let me show y'all this. Look what we captured dead center in the image. It's like a little Martian guy looking dead at the rover too. Crooked ass mouth, with the frown, that notorious frown. One eye seems to be bigger than the other, but this is right in front of the rover. Definitely going to be tracing that out. Hold that thought, because these are images. I have not actually imported these into Photoshop yet, so maybe that's why we were not able to find it there. There, found it. Now this has got to be one of the oddest pieces, or one of these oddest images. Is that not odd? And then it's there. I mean, look, it's got a shadow. Is it possible that these things can extend a leg or whatnot, and that leg can become the beginning of another being, a head then gets created, and it builds itself and it grows, and then it extends an arm, and then it just keeps duplicating itself over and over? I know I'm talking crazy sci-fi there, okay? But it really does look like this rock is standing up on two legs. What is going on? And you can see the extension out at the bottom where there's feet. Hold on, let me see. Let's annotate this. This is, oh, wait. I've got an even better view of this. Hold on. Yeah. This is an even better view of this image. Let me hit edit here. This is just the oddest thing, but let me bring this up on the screen. Check it. This is a bigger or a smaller section of screenshot. And it's just, definitely, I feel like some Photoshop's going on for sure, but I just thought that was so cool, right? Started looking at it, and I just found this to be quite interesting. And I mean, you can clearly see that whatever this is connects from the the little tentacle-like shaped legs, or whatever you want to call these. It clearly extends from the bigger part of the rock up here, okay? And you can actually see that in here if you look close, because you can see like a foot. There's an actual extension there. You can even see this kind of starts there at the top. It does have a knuckle, it looks like right here. But it's clearly some kind of foot or something. And look, it's got a shadow, right? That matches what we're seeing traced out here. Come on, iPad. I need to reboot this or something. Apple Pen's not responding right. Hold on. probably see it's not, I've noticed this happens a couple of times actually with these Apple Pens. I've had to reboot my iPad. My Apple Pen sort of stopped responding. It won't let me trace. There it goes. Damn it. But you can see some details. You can definitely see some details in this. Again, this is just me bull crapping around right now, but you see what I'm saying? Definitely see some very interesting little details in this. No, I never professed to be no artist, okay? Never did. Anyway, y'all get the point, right? Definitely get the point of what I'm saying. It's cool. Not to mention this, we got a very interesting little creature up here at the top of the photo, that honestly looks like it's probably moving at that moment in time. So anyway, guys, that's all I had to say today. That's all I had to discuss and talk about. Throw this topic out there and let people digest it however they want. Much love, everybody. Until next time.